Yep.
What kind of car is this?
This is a 2006 Ford Crown Vic.
Okay.
Yep.
So I see you guys got the roll cage. What all goes into turning a normal car into a race car?
Pretty much just stripping everything out of it, all the windows, all the glass, the lights, tail lights, cutting off the catalytic converters. Pretty much just taking everything off that's going to break, and then putting the cage in, of course,
Are there, which cars are best for racing and stuff? I'm sure some maybe are better.
This is an actual Crown Vic class.
That's like a cop car, right?
Yes. So, I mean...
Does it have like cop suspension, all that stuff?
So this is a PI car, which is Police Interceptor.
Okay.
But our rules state that you can use anything from 98, I think is when they started the VIX, all the way up to 2011.
That's cool.
So, but really, I've been around racing most of my life.
Okay. How'd you get into it?
My stepdad used to race with my uncle, and I've been around it ever since I was a kid, so it's just something I kind of grew up with. It's kind of in your blood or it's not,
Have you seen any bad wrecks or any friends that got hurt or anything doing it?
There was a guy that got hurt here a couple weeks ago, Mount Long. We're actually doing a fundraiser for him here November the 16th. But really...
yeah, it's not really probably an insurance setup for local racing, so if you get hurt, you're screwed.
You're kind of on your own insurance, but you sign a waiver and kind of everybody walks in understands that. So, but this class is a Crown Vic class, so I mean they all run the same cars.
Does it have to be the same engine too? Or?
They're all 4.6s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they try to keep it kind of straight across, so some guy doesn't have a Ferrari engine or something.
Right. Now they did make a Crown Vic that was, and I cannot remember the name of it because it's left my brain right now, but it was a supercharged, but they didn't make but a couple thousand of them. So,
on an average race, because I'm just wondering how much it costs to build a car out and stuff, the price of getting the car and then building it out, and then how much do you win on a race? Or is it kind of a thing where you're losing money more than you're winning?
You never win money in racing.
It's just more of your
it's more
passion.
of a hobby. Yeah, it's a hobby. Every once in a while, like the race we had out here a couple weeks ago, we paid $2,000 to win.
For the first?
For the first. So,
that's a nice little chunk of change.
Yeah, you get some.
But half you guys probably spin it right back on their car or whatever.
Yeah. This is a pretty affordable class, though. I mean, we run DOT tires, just like you could buy it at any tire store. Those are DOT wheels. Everything in this car is stock, except for the roll cage and, of course, the seat. But I put a Lexan windshield in it. But it's all pretty much, it's a stock car.
But I think you forgot one thing. Does the horn play La Cucaracha?
No.
Okay, well...
The steering wheel.
You still got you got some work to do.
Well, the radio probably still works in it, but...
As long as we get Q95, that's all we need. Right. Bob and Tom in the morning.
That's right.
We got Chick McGee over here.
Right. Yep. But Richard and Amy came on board with us 2 years ago, and we come out and do all their events for them and help them with all their events. And we do the parades and.
So you're also sponsored by the Beef People too?
Yep. LK helps us out a lot. Derek Hill Construction. But those Dylan doesn't work at 100 anymore. But they helped us out a lot in the springtime. And then of course JC Mobile, which is Jeff that's here DJing tonight.
Oh shit, Jeff's over there.
Yep.
Jeff donated too?
Yep, Jeff helped us out a lot too, so. Yeah,
I didn't know he had it like that. I've bummed a few smokes, but I didn't know he's rich.
And then, of course, Redbone's Pizza in Knightstown sponsors the whole class of Mount Lawn. So if you haven't had Redbone's Pizza, it is phenomenal.
From Mount Lawn?
It's actually in Knightstown. It's a pizza place in Knightstown.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they are.
I've been to that little Mexican place. They do some music kind of thing, like once a month. I've been to that for a birthday. But
there was
I'll check it out. I like pizza.
There was
I like 1000 Degrees pizza too.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Mount Summit.
There was a Dairy Queen that burnt in Knightstown here like 6 to 8 months ago, maybe a year ago.
Dairy Queen. I'm only familiar with our local establishment, Dairy King. There's a Dairy Queen?
There used to be a Dairy
Queen. What?
That's where Dairy Queen used to be. But anyway, Red Bones is right across the street. It is.
I know. What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So,
scandal.
Right.
Corporate's pissed.
Right.
They're not doing the twirl anymore. Like,
No.
stop doing the twirl. That's
Yeah.
our thing.
Right.
They already weren't doing the upside down thing. They had a sign that's like, we're not doing that. We don't support that.
Right.
They're like, we try to do it, but every time we turn upside down, the ice cream falls out because our ice cream machine's old.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna have to get a better ice cream machine,
Right.
I guess. I don't know.
Right.
They're like, it's just better to be Dairy King.
Yeah.
Never mind. I
Yep.
like the turtle blizzard a little too much down here.
Yeah, I do too. But I've got a new car coming for next year, and of course,
Going to be
next
the
year,
same
it's the
class.
same- yep, it's going to be the same class. So this one's
How much
got,
time does it take to like do the whole build out on one of these? 'Cause that's looks like a lot of work.
I built this car in 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
a few people helping you and stuff?
No, I did it all. Now the roll cage was already put together. I took it out of another car. It was
Okay.
out of a '84 Monte Carlo.
Does that save you some time?
It
and
saved me a lot of time
fabricating all that.
because the new car I had to build the roll cage in, so it took a lot of time.
You build that with a pipe bender and stuff,
Oh,
and
yeah.
bend the tubes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow,
Oh yeah, it
that's
takes-
cool. So you did the whole full
it
fabrication.
It takes some time. But
So, but to buy something like that would be like crazy
yeah.
expensive.
it is. My buddy
Is
Jared
it
Keller.
steel or
Oh yeah, it's
aluminum?
steel. It has to be 95,000 wall tubing.
Or a certain like strength
Yeah,
or something.
they don't want you
oh,
putting-
the thickness.
Yep, they don't want you putting exhaust tubing in there and somebody getting killed. So they recommend they mandate.
Well, that makes sense when it's got your life.
Yep, and they mandate that you put the 95,000th wall in it. But
See, so that's like how thick's that? Or
well,
Like
maybe
quarter of
eighth
an inch, eighth of an inch?
1/8 or less. Yeah,
cool.
I would say, just if I was guessing. But like I said, Jared Keller, who owns my go-to plumber in Anderson, he just built a new car this year, and I think start to finish, he sent it down south. Had a guy down south build it for him. I think it cost him $1,800.
1,800. That's it.
Yeah. Now that was after Jared had already bought the car, and
Oh.
stripped it out. But to put the
That
roll
seems like
cage-
a really good deal.
Yeah, to put the roll cage in it for him, you got to move the wiring harness out of the fenders because if you crash, then stuff stops working. So you got to strip most of the wiring harness out of it and get it up out of the way. So if you damage it, it's not turning off on you. You know.
Had the guys come to fix the garage door. They charged $75 just for showing up.
Oh, yeah.
It took them like 10 minutes,
yeah.
and they were back up to go.
Yep.
Like, dude,
So, yeah.
that's a pretty good deal for $1,800 if you worked on it in a week or so.
Yeah, but
like-
like I said, I built this one in 2 weeks. So I cut the top off of it and welded the cage to the frame.
Oh, so you cut the top off to get the roll cage
Yep.
and then put it back on?
Mhm.
Oh
I
wow!
cut.
Yeah, show us the.
Where did I cut this at?
So you do like welding by trade or anything already?
I'm kind of a do-it-all guy. I cut it here. I cut it
Right
here.
here.
You can't even tell.
Oh, it's like
Yep, the
Thing
doors on
go
the
there?
outside of it. But I opened up an LLC in January. It's called Top Tier Remodeling and Fabrication. So I do a lot of home remodel stuff, obviously for tax reasons. And I do the fabrication part on there because I welded. This is fourth or fifth car I bought in my lifetime and built in my lifetime. So
for racing.
I've done it for racing a lot. So
Cool.
I kind of tied it all together. But no, I cut it there. I cut these off. And then
What's the longest you've had a car last?
This one's 2 years old.
I'm sure some of them maybe can
Yeah.
crash pretty soon or
Yep, I've,
quick or something.
And, you know, relatively speaking, I'm outlawing. On occasion, you'll really tear a car up, but for the most part, we got a really, really super good group of guys that run out there, and very seldom does your car ever get tore up bad enough to where
Not as many crashes as Anderson, where they got
not
the
crashes.
they got the figure eight in Anderson. They're
Yeah.
kind of
Oh, yeah.
They're
Oh,
like
yeah.
intentionally trying to crash
Yes,
sometimes.
yes.
With like I saw the they had like school bus racing, and then they
Yeah.
had the like
Yep.
boat trailer racing and RVs
Oh,
that
yeah.
were all stripped out.
Yep, but
But I guess that's kind of point of it. The
this
nose.
one, like I said, I'll put a new body on this one next year. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do.
I wish I could put a new body on me.
Right? I think we could all use that every once
Give me
in a
the
while.
Tom Selleck.
But the big thing on this car though is tires. We burn through because they're DOT tires.
You just buy used ones for the junkyard or new ones?
No, you buy them new.
Oh,
you buy
wow.
them new and then you take them to somebody and have them shave them.
Really?
Yes.
What does that do for it?
So my best explanation for shaving tires is, if you take a hairbrush
Mm-hmm.
and you put your hand on top of it, you can move the hairbrush side to side relatively easy.
Okay.
Okay. So if you cut half the bristles off, then put your hand on the hairbrush, they're harder
Stiffer.
to move. Stiffer. That's kind of the same concept with the tires.
Just like more grippy or something like that.
They don't tend to roll over as much. They don't tend to feather out as bad. So as crazy as it sounds.
But then they probably wear out quicker too, though.
As crazy as it sounds.
You're taking some tread off.
A brand new tire and you cut half of the tread off of it. So.
Why couldn't you just get the ones that are like already half?
Well, these are the recommended tire we have to use for these cars.
Oh, you have to do it like that?
Sir.
I was gonna say, it's like, I know they can get like tire cells where they're like half used or something.
And you know, some tires hold up better than other tires. We had a Grocery Getter race out there the other day. And,
what's the brand you prefer?
these are Ironmans.
Who makes that?
I do not know.
Is it one of the big companies, or are they called?
I don't know if they're branched off of Goodyear or Firestone, or I don't know.
Bridgestone.
But they're an Ironman tire, and they work well at Mount Long. It's something with a flat surface. But if you take this tire to Winchester and try to run it around at Winchester,
what's their track like?
It's a half-mile, 36-degree banked.
Oh, it's banks.
Yes, so it's a big difference. So it puts a lot more pressure on tires, puts a lot more stress on tires, and wears tires out a lot faster. So the guys that'll run in the Winchester will run the Accelera tires, or it's got a little bit. They last a lot longer.
Oh.
But then again, you're still shaving half of it off.
That's wild. Does that make you sick to do it? It's like, brand new tire.
Well, I mean, you got to think. I mean, some of these guys are going out and buying these cars for $3,000, $4,000. There's nothing wrong with them.
Oh, and then they're
turning them into race cars.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of.
Do you get it for like salvaged or something like that, or
actually
salvage title or something?
I don't know. This had a good title. My wife's uncle had this car sitting out back behind his barn, and we did a little horse trading.
Like most of us, got a few hanging out.
And he wanted an old truck that I had, so we did some swapping and trading, and I ended up with it, and I had the cage for it, so it went together fast.
Perfect.
But
sometimes life works out like that.
It does. It's probably one of the only times. Well, I take that back. I only gave $500 for the other car I've got. It's an 09.
Well, it worked out with your wife anyway.
It did.
I think things worked out with her.
It definitely doesn't hurt to know people
Yeah.
when you get into this kind of stuff. But we enjoy it, though. I mean,
how many races do they have? I know after COVID, they don't seem like they're
Yeah,
having as many races as they used to.
They had a new promoter this year at Mount Lawn. And, you know, with any...
They used to almost do it every weekend, I thought.
For a while. It was every other weekend. So
every other?
2 times a month from probably April until we just finished up last week. So,
yeah.
You know, 2 times a month.
Is that what they're doing now again?
They haven't put the schedule out for next year.
Oh, okay.
But
I've been out there a few times.
Yeah, like I said, I've grown up out there. Ever since I was a little kid, I can remember going out there and sitting. So
that's fun.
It's hopefully next year the Grocery Getter race. Are you familiar with that?
I don't know what it is now.
The Grocery Getter race is basically you take any car. I mean, it doesn't matter what title it is or what.
Like minivans and stuff and whatever.
On cylinders. I think you can't run the SUVs and you can't run the minivans, but anything else goes. There was 4 Grand Prix out there.
And it's all a mixed race or whatever?
Yeah, they run a 20-minute enduro.
That's cool.
That's it. So they just sit out there and of course they knock the lights out of them and stuff.
That's almost like Twisted Metal or something.
They go out and
there.
It was good. It was the first time I'd ever seen one out there, and I think it went over really well. It may have been a little bit cold for some of the fans, but the Grocery Getter race was definitely good. I hope they bring it back next year and do it again.
You know any places that has demolition derby? I'd like to see that somewhere. Any places do that?
I live in Connorsville, and they've usually got 4 demolition derbies a year at the fairgrounds there. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds cool.
And of course, they've always got the demolition derby at the state fairground for the state fair.
Oh, they do it there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yes, sir. And a lot of the local
I've seen them on TV, but I've never been to one.
Yeah. I know Connorsville has one. I know Brookville has one. Who else has one, Jessica?
Derbies?
Yeah.
Rushville does.
Rushville has a derby.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Rushville has a derby at the fairgrounds. So those are the 3 that I can think of.
Yeah, I heard some of the older tracks down south and different places are like closing, so like less tracks than there ever. It's like
it's money.
Yeah, it keeps a lot.
I mean,
costs a lot to keep them up and open.
For me to move up to the modified division of Mount Lawn, which is their premier division, you're talking 100 and I haven't bought any. I'm guessing their tires are $160 a piece.
Oh my God!
And you're buying 4.
Mine are 80 each at Walmart.
Yeah, you're buying 4, so you're spending upwards of $500 for a set of tires. And you can only buy 1 a week, which is good, because it kind of regulates the guys that have got all the money buying 4 new tires a week. But and of course they've got any kind of motor you want to build, you can put in one of them cars. So a lot of the tracks are hurting because there's just not as many people that can afford to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So Racing Fuels $10 a gallon.
Oh
If you
yeah,
wanna
that all
go-
adds up to it
if you,
as
if you
well.
want to go buy, the 110 or the 112, it's up around, $10 a gallon. So, it's just the average guy, if you don't have help.
Metal and steel and stuff too to like fabricate
Yeah.
stuff's more. Everything's more.
Yep. So
Probably your welding wire, probably
oh,
fuck
yeah,
everything.
everything's high. Gas,
I'd say like
gas for
anything.
welders, for torches. I mean, everything,
Yeah.
everything's high. So, I would love to have a modified. I'd love to be able to get a modified. I've got a block sitting in my bedroom at home that I bored out 3 years ago.
Does that make it go faster or something?
Yeah. Usually it'll take them an old 350 010 block. You usually punch it out 30 over, make it a 355. That's about all you need from that long.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's money. I mean, you're
Does that
talking
have more chance of blowing up or
Oh, yeah.
overheating since it's like
Well, not necessarily.
bored out or
No, not necessarily.
just it can blow though more?
It's an engine.
Yeah.
It's moving parts. This thing could blow when I put it on the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean.
That's true.
So it's just sometimes it's who you got to put it together and the luck of the draw and what kind of parts you got when you build it.
Cool.
know.